Hello there everybody, welcome back to another episode of Try New Things, where today we're going to address an issue that's been bothering me for quite some time. Before I do that, I want to tell you a very brief story. So back when the pandemic started, and we all remember when the pandemic started, I said there's no way I'm going to self-isolate at home by myself and do nothing, and that's when I pulled the trigger to buy the land, which is now the TNT farm. And back in those days, early on, I know it was only a couple years ago, we only had the one mower. And I needed a way to shuttle that mower back and forth from the house to the farm so that I could mow both lawns. Now, at the same time as all this was going on, the country was going through major supply chain issues, and I literally couldn't find a utility trailer. Now, eventually I did, and here's the one that I found. But what I really wanted was something a little bigger, something with a little bit more capacity, but this was the only trailer I could find. Now, of course, today there are trailers everywhere. You go to a Tractor Supply, a Rural King, the parking lots are full of trailers. But back then, this was the first trailer I could get my hands on, so I snagged it. And it's not perfect, but it has certainly treated me well so far, and I've put thousands of miles on it already. But here's what I dislike about this trailer. So if you see here, there's virtually almost no tie down points on this particular model of trailer. Now there's a couple at the front, and one of those in each side is directly over the light on the side. So you can't get a hook into it, so it's completely useless. And then you have to go all the way to the back before you find another tie down point. So today what I want to do is take care of that by adding some tie downs. Now let me show you what I picked up fairly recent, maybe a couple months ago, in a mystery box at an auction that I intend to install. So what I got in that mystery box are these 4 D-rings which bolt down to the deck of the trailer. And these ones happen to be 3-inch D-rings, and I would recommend getting something heavy duty. I was on Amazon the other day just looking around, and there are some of these that are much smaller that actually screw down to the deck. Now I wouldn't trust tying down a mower or anything if all that's holding it to the wood are a couple screws. So we're going with carriage bolts, 2.5-inch carriage bolts, 5/16 in diameter, all the way through the deck, with large washers to make sure these don't pull out. But let's go ahead, pull the trailer into the barn, and get set up to install these additional tie downs. Now, in case you're curious what was in the green military action packer, it's my weatherproof strap box, and certainly does the trick. I used to use an action packer, and it'd always get beat up and the top would crack and fly off. So this is a much better option to keep my straps secure and dry. And here's a closer look at the other odd thing I keep on my trailer, and that's this rubber mat I picked up from Tractor Supply. If you've ever tried to walk up one of these expanded metal tailgates or drop gates on a trailer when it's wet, it's extremely slippery. So this mat, I can just simply slide it down over the drop gate and use it for traction when I'm loading or unloading something. So I've made up my mind where I want to install those additional D-rings. And since I have a functional tie down at the very front on the side and another one at the back, kind of splitting the difference with these D-rings. And what I've done is centered them on the plank so that my carriage bolts are not too close to the edge. I've also climbed underneath the trailer there, made sure that there's no impediments or anything that I'm going to interfere with by installing the bolts. Now you may want to put these in a different location, tie them directly into the frame. For me, this is what I think will work best. I wish I had a couple more, and maybe I'll pick up a couple more and install them along the front. But for now, these additional 4 tie down points will certainly help me out a lot. So it's time to get the drill out and start installing these D-rings. Well, that's going to go ahead and bring another project to a close. Very easy to get the nuts and washers on the bottom of those carriage bolts. And now I have 4 more tie down points. And hopefully this gives you some ideas of how to turn a utility trailer into something a little more utilitarian. And it was cheap, and it was easy, and it was fast. But anyway, if you got any questions or comments, as always, leave them below. Love to hear from you. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to check out future videos. And until the next one, bye-bye.